Hi, welcome back to my channel, IndieAuthor Jill. We're gonna do a monthly wrap up. These are the books I read this month, and there's two that I actually didn't get to this month that were part of this TBR. Um, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so the first book. Sorry, my head's cut off because I was trying to show you the books. Um, Hi, how you doing? The first book that I did read this month was A Curious Cage of Plagium by Haley Morrison. Um, Everybody I've talked to or has seen this book has said that the front cover gives Pinocchio vibes. Even there's a 10-year-old little boy that at church that I gave this to read, and he and I are both frustrated. Thankfully, it is book one, so we need to get book two because it never says in here who sent the combustible paper, who sent the notes. Um, but other than that, it was an enjoyable read. I enjoyed it. He enjoyed it, and I got it back from him after he was done reading it, and then there's an 11-year-old, a 10 going on 11-year-old boy that is going to be getting this, and he's super excited about it. Um, After that, it was Who is Bobby May? Uh, I guess I should tell you what Curious Case of Plagium was about. Um, Tracy Higginbottom, that's her right here. Her boss goes missing, and all that she has is a letter that goes up in smoke, literally, and his glasses. Um, and she ends up going and trying to find him, and she ends up teaming up with an adventurer, two kids who are chimney sweeps, and a reporter, a records keeper, and they go about trying to find her boss. Um, who is Bobby May by Cece Legault. This one is an amnesia story, and like I said in my review video for this, it's a very low stakes second chance romance where Bobby May has been in a horrific car accident, and it has completely wiped her mind for the last 4 years, and she's forgotten a lot of things, including some very big moments in her life, like the father that she forgot about her father passing away, about getting married, and the kind of life she had with her husband. And so the book is basically about her kind of rediscovering who she is, and where to go from there. It was a very nice and cozy read. I really enjoyed it. Um, Fragile Focus by Tammy Lakami. This one, I was so frustrated with the main character, but like, as much as I was frustrated with her, I still enjoyed the read. And it's one of the few times when I have been frustrated with the main character, and like, you want her to, you want her to get it, and you're on her side for her to get it, and you're trying so hard to be patient with her, and it's so difficult because she's just not getting it. But um I did uh I did like the story, and that's too bright. There we go. Um I did enjoy the story. I did enjoy how much I did enjoy the relationship between her and her best mate, um and Jax. Um and I like I've said in the video, I want to check out the rest of the books in the series to get to know the rest of the family. Um, Next was Fabled Remains. I still maintain that Elliot needs his own adventure. Um, I can't say enough about this. It I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters. Naomi, I she has no kids of her own, and so in this one, I get again, I forgot to tell you guys what the stories was about. Uh, she Riona goes to Japan, and she comes away feeling she gets a cryptic warning from a wise healer there, and then she starts feeling not great, and Jax worries that all these healers are actually cursing her, and she reveals to him that she's been sick. It hasn't just started in Japan. Um it's been happening before Japan, and uh, everywhere she goes, she gets these wise healers seem to be attracted to her and tell her what she needs to do to take care of herself, and what she needs to avoid. And um, she she keeps being a little bit dotty about it sometimes. Um, but she does start little by little. She does start to like okay, like at first accidentally starts to take their advice, and then she's like more and more she's getting it, but it was just such a it's like, girl, go outside, get some sun, touch some grass, pet a cat. you know um Fabled Remains. This is just the first in the books. You don't need to see me. You just need to see the book. The book is important. The books are more important than me. Um, Naomi is a teacher, and she gets called to go on this trip with these kids to. There's a camping trip, and it's like 30 kids, and an earthquake hits while they are on their trip on a hike, and everybody in their troop ends up being killed by the earthquake except for her and four of the children, including a precocious little boy named Elliot. And they're taken into a world where they find out that fairies and other mythical creatures have lived in coexisted with humans for a long time, and then there was a separation, and the humans are just depleting the earth of its resources. So the earth is getting Mother Gaia is getting revenge by trying to get rid of the humans, and Naomi and these four children have to go and plead with Gaia to spare the humans. Next was Verona and the Minister from the Dead. Verona is a 14-year-old teenager who finds out that she has a gift, but the gift that she has is um, killing people by looking at them. And so she has to be possessed by a demon in order to help control her powers. And in the meantime, there is a destiny that she has to fulfill, and um, to do that, in order to fulfill that destiny in the gifted world, she will have to learn to tame the demon who is taming her powers. Um, you weren't next. You were next. Yes, this is the right order. After that, it was a nice, cozy romance between um, Adam. I almost called him Alex again. Uh, it's okay. Uh, Nicole and I can't remember this guy's name for the life of us until he becomes an important character. But yeah, Adam, not Alex. Nicole is the purple haired girl with the awesome dress over here. Um, and she's she has anxieties, and um I think the anxiety representation is very well done here. I liked Adam because he's a very shy, quiet, nerdy guy, your typical nerdy guy, but he's got different things that kind of like you don't expect. Like, he's got this entire meme library of his own online that he does even share with Nicole. He's interested in learning about other people and what excites them. And he actually has more friends. Even Nicole is like surprised about how many friends he has. Um, because like he wouldn't necessarily consider them friends, but he knows enough about people. He talks to people enough and works with them and talks to them enough to know enough about them to actually have nice conversations with them. And at one point, he's out to dinner with Nicole. They're not on a date. They're just two friends hanging out at the soapbox. And another woman comes to join them, and they're talking back and forth about um, the woman's she's talking about the coral reef and everything, and uh Nicole starts talking to her, and the two of them have a good um conversation back and forth between them. And then she's like, okay, I got to get going, I got to go get ready for my talk on the soapbox. And so she and uh Adam start talking a little bit more, and he's like, oh yeah, you'd like her, you know she and her fiance are a great couple to hang out with. And he's kind of like checking her reaction to see like what was she jealous? What did did she think she was hitting on me? Was she jealous? And Nicole is just like, cool, and like gives no reaction at all. And she's like, was he baiting me? You know, but I like the bantering between the two of them. Once they get used to it, because at first they're like very awkward around each other, and once they get used to each other, it they just fall into this easy friendship. Next was, sorry, my allergies are trying to kill me. Next was the spreadsheet situation by Don Banks, and another college librarian who's forced to work with a coworker, and also has a mental illness. Like she is, I hate calling it a mental illness because, um, I mean, anxiety and depression and panic attacks, those are types of mental illness, but I hate to use those terms because it feels like saying they're sick or they're diseased, and they're not diseased. I have anxiety, I have depression, um, and I don't consider myself diseased. I consider myself diseased when I'm throwing up and fighting a virus. Um, but yeah, she's dealing with panic attacks, and again, great representation. Um, they're dealing with something a little bit more serious, because with them, these two are just working on a project to get graphic novels introduced into the college library. That's, it's much lower stakes than what these guys are dealing with. These guys, they are putting data together. They have um the college has um changed some of their intro academic program, so that to potentially help with student retention. But since the introduction to the since introducing those um um subjects, the students the students are signing up and their grades are doing really well, but all of a sudden students are transferring, they're leaving the school to go elsewhere. And they are concerned that they're the college is concerned. They're like, okay, what is causing this issue that, you know we've got kids signing up, we've got students signing up because they want to um attend these classes, they're doing well in these classes, but then they quickly transfer to other schools. So the retention is not there, and it doesn't make sense. So they're sitting there going through all of the data, trying to figure out where the problem possibly is. And Andrew, this guy right here, has quickly come to the conclusion that he is concerned that it's one particular faculty member that may be a problem. Um, and maybe potentially he doesn't come right out and say it, but he implies that there's a staff member that may be making some of the students uncomfortable. They don't want to make accusations though because they don't have any proof. And Evie points out that the data is the proof. That's why they're gathering the data. That's what the spreadsheet does. And she says the data tells the story. So if you've got the data, then you've got the story. If you've got the story, you've got the evidence, and you can take care of the situation. Um, so um, a little higher stakes that they're dealing with to help save their college. Um, and I appreciated how Dawn handled all the different. She handled a lot of different subjects in this, including panic attacks, and anxiety attacks, unwanted um, unwanted attention, different things like that. Um, and yeah, like I said, I appreciated how well Dawn was able to handle those situations and represent those situations in this book and still keep the story entertaining and keep you wanting to turn the page. Most of these were 1 day reads. These were just all, even Verona was the longest book, and I got through it in a day because, like, it, again, not for me, not my cup of tea, but I couldn't stop turning the pages, you know. So, um this one was definitely a 1 day read. This was like half a day read. This took me like 2 hours to get through. Um Leadership lessons from classic literature, the Odyssey, um Andrew, not this not this Andrew, different Andrew, uh went through, and he talks about all the mistakes Odysseus makes in his leadership, but also how he learns from those mistakes and how we can apply those leadership lessons to our own lives. And I thought that was quite interesting. Then the last one was A Race with a Rogue by Rebecca Johnson. Um, this one, yeah, I would say that of all of these, wow. This is going to be hard. Okay. This was definitely one of my favorites. Race with the Rogue. Um the Maddie is a um basically a suffragette, and she dumps her political suitor boyfriend because he was running for office, and he was had suffrage on his women's suffrage on his platform, and then all of a sudden he dumped it off of his platform. So she responds by dumping him, and then she finds out that he is running unopposed in the next election, and she's like, this idiot cannot represent us. And so she talks her best friend's brother Cooper into running for office, but Cooper has a reputation for being a bit of a playboy, and so she's like, I can help you with that. I can be your steady girlfriend and whatever, beer. Um, like at first she starts off with, I'm just going to help you with the campaign, and I'm going to help you with the campaign because I know what his campaign strategy was. I know all of his secrets. I know all of his weaknesses and his strengths, and we can work with that. And then when his kind of playboy um uh reputation comes into play, they decide the best way to offset that is for the two of them to get engaged and for him to be set up in a bit of a redemption arc. And even his best friend Leo tells him, "Hey, this is going to work out perfectly because everybody loves a redemption story." Um, so, uh, but then they find out that this like whole fake relationship isn't as fake as they thought it was. Now, what I liked about this is because Georgia, Cooper's sister, is Maudie's best friend, and the two of them knew each other. Like they grew up, Maudie and Cooper actually kind of grew up together as friends and neighbors. So they already have an established relationship, and it's not this pesky little sister or pesky little sister's best friend relationship. Like he genuinely likes and respects Maudie from the get go. So they already have a solid foundation to build their relationship on. And so none of it feels contrived or um, forced or any of that. It's very much a, yeah, this is a uh, legitimate relationship. And like I said in my review video, everybody in this story, minor characters included, all got a nice fair shake as far as what kind of people they were. You understood them, you understood their motives, you understood when they're talking, you know who's talking. You can tell the difference between Matthew talking and Leo talking. And like they are all very well fleshed out. So my favorite of the month, I think it's got to be between these three. They were so good. It's like picking a favorite child. I don't wanna. Can I say all three of them were my favorite? They were all three my favorite for different reasons. Like this one has a dog in it, guys. Look how cute Joni is. This one had a dog in it. Okay. Uh okay, I guess if I have to choose one, okay. If I have to choose one, this is my favorite. This is very close second because that one is a sexy little firework. And then this is a close third. But yeah, those are my those are my favorites. That hurt. Where did I set these over here. Okay. And now for the two that I didn't get to reading. Um, so at one point I got into a this month I got into kind of a depressive spiral, and I just couldn't bring myself to read Mermaid from My Nightmares or Facing Fate. And I couldn't tell you why that the two of these didn't really stick with me. Um, I thought for sure that I would want to gravitate towards this one because I absolutely love Ireland and Irish stories, and so I was really interested in this one when I first opened it. And this one, like, it's not exactly a hard read, but when I got into my depressive spiral, I couldn't bring myself to read these. I will eventually pick them up. It's just not going to be this month, but I wanted to make sure that anybody who read saw the TBR uh, didn't feel slighted because I just didn't read these. And like I said, I'm not going to review a video. I'm not going to review a book that I either haven't read or haven't didn't like. and I didn't want people thinking I just didn't like these, because the truth of the matter is I just haven't read them yet. I kind of passed them by. I will get back to them. There's a couple of books that I kind of think I might give a second chance to, so I might uh, end up making an entire TBR based on those. Um, but uh, if I can't finish a book, or if I don't even start a book, I'm certainly not counting it as part of my read this month. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not too bad. 9 books this month that I read. Well, it was actually more. But because I read Christmas Fudge Fatality and A Walk in the Snow, but those are Christmas books, so I'm not going to put that in this video. Those will go. I'll talk about those in December, and do those for the December recap. Um, but so 12 books, if you count the 2 Christmas books. Um, like I said, when I was in my review video for Race with the Rogue, I decided to do the 52 um, book. What is that? I can't remember the channel name again. Um, but the summer challenge that they had, but like I said, when I looked at the video that morning and realized that that video announcing that summer reading thing actually went live like last year. It was for last summer. Um but it still looks like an interesting reading challenge, so I'm still going to do it. I'm working on the Twisted Tree in Wonderland now, and when I do the review video for that, I'll let you know what's next on that. I do plan on trying to get into some reading challenges. I've kind of avoided them up to this point because I felt like I couldn't do reading challenges, because a lot of the reading challenges just didn't uh wouldn't work for just reading self-published authors, because so many of them were um in one way or another required not to go to a in some ways a traditionally published book, or to take a recommendation from somebody else, um and most of their recommendations are uh traditionally published books, and I'm trying to stick to uh self-published books and indie authored books. If you'd like me to start featuring maybe some of the more traditional published books, let me know in the comments. But what I really want to know from you guys are, what are some of your favorite reading challenges that you, because I don't know why I am so involved in booktube, and I'm not seeing all these reading challenges until after they're like months, they've already been passed and everything, and I would like to get into one like on time. So because the 52 books, because I now I'm aware of their summer reading challenge, I'm definitely subscribed to that channel to try and find out when um they do another um summer reading challenge. um so if you guys know of any other reading challenges that you think I might be interested in, by all means, please let me know down below. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.